Today, we're going to dive into one of the most misunderstood yet absolutely critical roles in the modern workplace, the Scrum Master. We're going to peel back the layers of the job title to really understand the mindset that completely transforms how teams get things done and deliver real value. Oh, you know the feeling, right? We've all been there. You work for months on something, you pour your heart into it, and then at the very end, you find out it kind of missed the mark. It is so frustrating, it's inefficient, and let's be honest, it's a huge waste of everyone's time and talent. Well, this classic problem really comes from an old way of thinking about work. So on the left, you've got that old school waterfall mindset. Massive planning up front, super rigid handoffs between teams, and one big bang delivery at the very, very end. It's that command and control world. But on the right, you see the agile mindset. This is all about working in short, focused cycles, constantly collaborating and delivering real, usable value way, way sooner. And this shift, well, it's the entire reason the Scrum team even exists. So, how does a team actually get things done without those traditional managers breathing down their necks? Well, Scrum gives us a really powerful structure with three distinct collaborative roles. Let's break down how they all work together. First up, you have the product owner. Think of them as the ultimate voice of the customer and of the business. Their one crucial job is to decide what needs to be built and, this is key, in what order. They own the master to-do list, which we call the product backlog, and their focus is always, always on maximizing value. Next, we have the developers. And listen, this isn't just about the coders. This is the entire crew, the designers, the testers, the engineers, everyone with the skills needed to actually build the product. And here's the magic part. They are self-organizing. So while the product owner decides what to build, it's the developers who have the autonomy to decide how to get it done. And finally, we get to the role that kind of holds this whole thing together, the Scrum Master. Now, they are not the boss. Let's be super clear on that. They are the team's coach, their guide, their facilitator. Their entire reason for being is to help the team succeed by clearing roadblocks, protecting them from distractions, and just making sure the whole process runs smoothly. You see, the core philosophy that defines a great Scrum Master isn't about management at all. It's about something called servant leadership. But what does that actually mean when the rubber hits the road? This idea, this concept of servant leadership, it's the absolute key difference between a Scrum Master and a traditional project manager. It's a complete shift in mindset, moving away from command and control and towards support and empowerment. This quote from our source material just says it all, doesn't it? Real leadership is not about authority, but about service. It's not about having power over the team. It's about empowering the team so they can use their own power effectively. So what does this actually look like day to day? Well, a servant leader is constantly working behind the scenes. They're creating an environment of trust where the team feels safe and empowered to make their own decisions. They're the ones hunting down and removing roadblocks, protecting the team from outside pressures, and always, always guiding them to reflect on how they can get just a little bit better over time. Okay, so the theory sounds great, but we all know the real world is messy, right? The true test for any Scrum Master is how they handle things when stuff gets tough. So let's look at a couple of common real-world challenges to see how a servant leader puts these skills into practice. All right, here's a classic scenario. Your team is laser-focused, they're halfway through a 2-week sprint, that's their fixed period of work, and suddenly the product owner comes in wanting to add just one more little thing. This is a huge threat to the team's focus and their ability to deliver on their promise. So what does a great Scrum Master do here? First off, the Scrum Master protects the team. They gently but firmly reinforce the rule. The scope we agreed to for the sprint is stable. Second, they educate. They guide the product owner and explain that this great new idea has a perfect home in the backlog, ready for the next sprint. And third, they offer options. If this change is a true drop-everything emergency, there's a process for that. The product owner can choose to cancel the current sprint. This makes sure any changes are conscious, deliberate decisions, not just chaotic interruptions. Okay, here's another tough one. You've got two brilliant developers, and they have a strong, passionate disagreement on how to build something. Tensions are rising, progress is stalling. Now, a traditional manager might just step in and make a decision for them. But a Scrum Master, they do something totally different. See, the Scrum Master's role here is to facilitate, not dictate. They create a safe space where the conflict is about the ideas, not the people. They make sure each person gets to fully explain their perspective without being interrupted. And most importantly, they guide the entire team to come up with a solution together. They help the team own the decision. This not only solves the problem, but it builds the team's problem-solving muscle for the future. So at the end of the day, all of this, the coaching, the facilitating, the protecting, it all serves one ultimate purpose. It's all about delivering real, meaningful value. I love this quote from the source material because it really gets to the heart of why this all matters. Agile is not about doing more. It is about being more. It's about becoming more transparent, more adaptive, more collaborative. It's a fundamental shift in how we work. It's about being, not just doing. And that right there is the Scrum Master's real job. It's not managing tasks on a board. It's not tracking hours. It's being the guardian of the environment, the coach, the obstacle remover, and the servant leader who cultivates a space where a team of talented people can do their absolute best work. So I'll leave you with this final thought to take back to your own teams. Ask yourself, are you just going through the motions? Just doing the meetings, using the fancy software? Or are you truly embracing the mindset and actually being agile? Because often, the difference between the two is a great Scrum Master.